Hello and welcome. We are excited that you are going to take a few minutes with us to learn a little bit about an exciting fall cruise that we have for you this year. My name is Wendy Fracchia. I am the operations manager for Morris Murdoch Escorted Tours, which is the escorted tour division of Morris Columbus Travel. So I am really excited today to get to introduce this cruise product to you. With me on this presentation is Chad Hawkins, who is going to be our tour host for this cruise. And we'll get to learn a little bit about Chad. And
Hey, everybody.
oh, thank you. Sorry, Chad. And Julie DeMille is with us as well. Hello, Julie. She
Hello.
is the operations manager, or excuse me, the tour manager who you'll be working with during your booking process. So she's done many tours and has sailed with Royal Caribbean many times and has some wonderful information to share. So again, we're just really grateful that you are with us. And let's just talk a little bit about what this program is. This is a cruise tour, which means that it is both an escorted tour that we're going to do in New York City as well as a cruise on Royal Caribbean. This is October 10th through the 19th are the dates of the cruise. The departure to New York is actually on the 8th. Again, this is the Liberty of the Seas. We're going to have Julie talk about the ship a little bit and some of the fun things that you can experience or have in mind on what that experience with Royal Caribbean is going to be. So I wanted to introduce you to Chad Hawkins, who has been a longtime friend, one of my favorite people in the world. So Chad, just jump in on any of these. These are just some of the things that I think people need to know the most about you. It's just that you have been doing art for what is that, 30 years? Is that incredible? It's like, well, not quite 30 years, is it? I couldn't try to do the math on spot.
Ever since I was in high school, I've been doing art. My art career began as an illustrator for the Yellow Pages. For
Oh my
anyone
God.
who can remember the book of Yellow Pages, before we
I
had
did not know that.
graphic design computers, I was one of the guys who would break out the stencils and draw by hand all of those little teeny ads. It drove me crazy, but hey, I was a high school student and I loved getting
And you
paid.
were making money
I was
doing
making,
something you're excited about. And then you graduated into doing the LDS temples and a
yes,
little background on that.
it helped pay for my mission to Frankfurt, Germany. And so that's all I ever thought it would be, is a way to help finance my mission to the amazing country of Germany. I got back from my mission and I just kept going from a few temples to more and more. And then President Hinckley announced that we would have 100 temples by the year 2000. That's when I really had to step it up and get busy. And so I've drawn about 175 temples. I've been to 130 or 40 temple locations. And so I've been able to visit and travel the world on business expenses, but really it's my passion, it's my love. So I love to travel, I love to draw and illustrate where I go, and that's turned into doing these tours, which is something that fits in working with people and using my art to meet people. It's been an exciting journey to see the world and share my love for the temples and art.
Well, and I was going to say, and you've progressed on, and you've had so many like great commissions from, government buildings and public buildings all throughout Utah, and now I know you said that you're booked out for almost a year on private pieces that you're doing for people, and
Yes.
so
Yep.
what a great blessing and talent you have, and
I
so
love it. I love it, whether it's pencil, watercolor, or oil paintings, large commissioned installations, or doing portraits. I do a lot of portraiture as well. It's a lot of fun. Mix it
It,
up.
yeah, and just so incredibly talented. And I think one of the things that amazes me is that you are an avid marathon runner and a mountain climber. Follow him on Facebook. You'll get to see his many wonderful journeys. His last one
Yeah.
that I'm incredibly jealous of is the Mount Kilimanjaro, and you were just telling me that you're hoping to do a marathon in what did you say, the South Pole?
Why just do the ones locally when you can go to the North and the South Pole and freeze? Let's find a way to make a marathon harder and do it on ice while it's sub-zero. I hope to
Yeah,
do
you know.
North Pole Marathon, and then they also have a marathon and then in Antarctica. And so it's my goal to do those the next year or so.
I love the bucket list stuff that you do, and Chad has actually been hosting tours with us, or a version of us, for over 20 years. You started
Yes,
back with BYU Travel Study, and you've done domestic as well as international tours for us. So
and
I
cruise
know
tours. They're fun. They're all great.
yeah, well, and the thing that Chad does for the groups, and I'll just tell y'all that he always does a private piece for every group that he does. It's a picture of something about the trip that
Yes.
he gives to everybody, whether it's the ship with the fall leaves in this case,
Yes.
some of the different ports, but it's
Ports.
a very special commemorative piece, unique just to your group.
I will create a work of art that will be a limited edition to just those who join us on this exciting experience. And I give it out at the ending dinner, which is always we make a lot of friends. So the final dinner of the trip, it's a happy and joyous and also sad occasion. But that's when I hand out the drawings. Each one is signed and numbered, and then somebody on the tour will get the original. I don't know who because they're all together, but then someone walks away with the original work of art, and that makes it even more special. And I love to do that.
I think I know that that has been just one of the many comments we get back on your trips from, when people are telling us how great of an experience is, how much they just really love that special keepsake. So, well, okay, on to the trip. Now that they
Yes.
know a little bit about you and why they wanted to have this experience with you, let's talk about the trip. So as I mentioned, this is a cruise tour, and it does begin in New York City. So what is included in our incredible cost of the package of well, starting at 14.99. So I keep that in mind. Um, is 2 nights in New York City. And if you've ever booked a hotel in Manhattan, you will know how expensive hotels are and what an incredible opportunity it is to be right in the heart of the city, walking distance to Times Square, walking distance to Central Park, to the theaters, and to many things. So we've got a great hotel that includes breakfast each morning for you. So it's going to help with some expenses for the time that we're there. We have got many great tours of the highlights of the city that is also included. But most importantly is you do also have a little bit of free time, and we'll talk about that as well. And it's going to have the transfers from the hotel to the ship. So again, towards the end, we'll talk a little bit more about the structure. But at the end of the cruise, it also includes more touring of New York City as well as transfers back to the airport. So we'll cover that in a minute. So
Wendy, can I say something right here? One of
yeah.
the things that I'm going to do is make this trip easy for you. So you're mentioning transfers. Well, everybody knows what a cruise is, but a transfer that can be intimidating to some people. Like, how do I get from downtown to the ship? And there will be this very convenient and easy transfer. And if you have any questions on how to get there, when is it? That's when you just relax because I'm there and you can ask me the questions, and I'm going to be there to assist you every step of the way. Think of me as your attending concierge to
Oh,
make
I
sure you
love
get
it.
at the right place at the right time. So there's no reason to be intimidated because New York City can be intimidating. But hey, we've got this and we'll make it an easy process flowing from start to finish.
That's awesome. I love that. Um, so again, we're going to be on the Liberty Seas. This is going to be your home for the next 10 days. This picture on the bottom left-hand side is of one of our balcony cabins. That's what I really want to focus on is we have a very short window to get one of these balcony cabins for under $2,000 for the 10-day cruise and the entire New York package. It does have to be booked by Friday, the 23rd at this point. We are hoping to get it extended, but right now it has to be booked by Friday. So if this is what you're looking for, to have that wonderful sided glass door and that extra balcony space to sit back and relax on. But Julie, why don't you take a second and tell us a little bit about the Liberty of the Seas and some of the fun things that they'll get to do on board?
Okay, I'd love to. Yeah, this is an amazing ship. It's one of their larger ships that has holds 4,900 passengers, so it's a good sized ship.
But not one of the mega ships, because
No,
those are
no.
intimidating too.
No, this is a great ship. There's a lot of fun things to do on the ship. They've got a lot of water features, which I don't know, with being in the fall is not going to be as, may not be as appealing, but they do have lots of hot tubs that you can sit in. They have an outdoor movie screen that they show movies on every night while you're on the cruise. They've got an ice skating rink where during the day you can go ice skating, and in the evenings they have ice skating performances, like the Ice Capades kind of thing. They have a rock climbing wall and like a sports court where you can play basketball.
They
And
do pickleball now on board the ship too.
yeah, of course, pickleball is the thing these days. And then they've got great dining. For complimentary dining, they have, you've got 4 different places. You've got the main dining room, which serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's a sit-down, nice meal. They have the Windjammer, which is the buffet, kind of our place that we like to go eat, because you can go grab whatever you want. You know, it's real casual. Then they also have Sorrento's, which is a pizza place. You can stop by, get pizza by the slice. And then they have the Cafe Promenade, which is like pastries and coffee. And those, both the Sorrento's, the pizza, and the Cafe Promenade are open all day. You can drop by anytime you want. And those that I mentioned are all free. They all are part of your cruise. They have other dining that is not included that you can make reservations. That's an extra charge, but they do have plenty of food for you to eat. That's all included in your cruise price.
That's awesome. Yeah. The one of the things about the Windjammer that I thought was really fun is it is so casual. You can just go and grab a drink and some cookies and sit down and play cards back there when you've got a little bit of downtime. Or they've got the libraries and the shows at night, and Royal Caribbean just does a really fabulous job. So what we're going to do is after embarkation, you're gonna have the rest of the night to get familiar with the ship. With our groups, we arrange dining together. So you really get a chance to spend time in the evening getting to know the different people in the group. One of the things that's really nice is you do form bonds with people, and you get to talk about the different activities that maybe you've done or you're looking forward to, or what excursions that you're doing. And I think since we have so many people who are from this area or surrounding states, there's a lot of like-mindedness, and there's a lot of people that you're really comfortable in the conversation, and there's always going to be something to do. And I think that's one of the comments we get about our group cruises is group dining. Our dinner time is one of the things that people really enjoy the most when we're together. The next day is a day at sea, which means you get to go explore all those things that Julie just talked about. But because we do have somebody amazing like Chad with you as a group, we are going to have an opportunity to get together this day. For those who want to, it's optional. We're not going to make you, but for those who want to, we're going to have a fun get together where Chad's going to talk a little bit about his career, his past, just some of the different experiences he's had with his art. And Chad, I think, you know, that was I think one of the things that we were talking about, he's known for embedding different things in his art. You want to talk about maybe how that got started, or just a little bit? Don't give it all away.
Sure. Well, a lot of artists through the years, through the history of art, have hidden things in their art, symbolic or cryptic messages. And I've always loved that. I've always thought it was fascinating. And so as I draw or paint pictures, I always like to research the subject that I'm working on and then ask what would be appropriate to hide in this drawing or painting. and then make it hidden. Makes it fun. It makes it a picture within a picture. So if I'm drawing a temple, then I like to research the history of the church in the area, the architecture, and find something appropriate to hide unique that's in the Boston or Manhattan or Nova Scotia, Halifax, or different temples, and then hide that so people can look at it and say, that's a picture of this temple. But then weeks later, they might look at it differently and something will pop out at them. I did the same thing when I painted the Washington, all these scenes in Washington, D.C. from the time of day, and a lot of angles, specific reasons. So it makes hopefully my art have another level of meaning.
Another,
I really enjoy it.
I love looking for it. It's not a Where's Waldo, but it
Hopefully
is
it's a little
a
classier
fun
than
thing.
that.
It is definitely classier, definitely classier. So we'll have an opportunity to get together that day. Now, this is a fall foliage cruise, meaning
Yes.
you are going to be cruising up the eastern seaboard to some of the most majestic areas where you will see the colors of fall.
And
So
one thing to highlight is that this is at peak season,
it is a high
right?
season of the fall foliage.
Exactly.
They say throughout October is when to expect the peak colors. Of course, with how the seasons are changing a little bit, you can never guarantee. But this being the middle of October, we should be guaranteed to see some
Yes.
of the most majestic colors throughout here. We are going to do private group excursions as well throughout this cruise. So Boston is definitely a place that we will have a private group excursion that is going to go to the many historical sites in Boston, and we will have more information on that coming up in both New York and in Boston, because we do have Chad with us and he has drawn and spent much time at both of those temples, that we're hoping to do a drive-by photo stop at both of those along the way. We won't have time to do anything else for any of our LDS members, but I think that they're significant and they're beautiful, and the information that you have to share, even if you're not LDS, that it's informational as well as stunningly beautiful to look at. So, and just a small part of what those excursions will be. So from Boston, we go up to Portland, Maine, and this is where you're going to start seeing all the lighthouses and these iconic cottages on these rocky shores. We will have an excursion in Portland as well. We have another day here at sea after those two. And we're going to also enjoy another get together this day. This talks a little bit again about Chad again here. I know one of the things we talked about, Chad, is having an opportunity for you just to talk about art appreciation and architecture, and how one of our meetings that you will focus on appreciating those things.
Absolutely. That, for example, the every one of our excursions, we will drive by and see some amazing historical, either lighthouses or old churches. Speaking of old churches, the Boston Temple, the spire of the Boston Temple is on a very high landmark spot, and it's inspired by the Old North Church belfry. And that's one of the oldest churches in all of Massachusetts. And we're going to go see it. It's going to be neat. But I would love just to not drive by, but make sure we talk about some of these
Have an
beautiful.
opportunity to talk about it
Absolutely.
because you
We'll be
do have a lot to add.
Yes.
So, well, that is awesome. We now are going up into Canada, into Nova Scotia. And again, look at these colors. It's just amazing. One of the things that people will ask is, do I need a passport on this cruise? And the answer is no. Yes, you are leaving the country, but it is round trip out of the United States to the same port. So passport is not required, although we highly, highly recommend it. If you have any questions about that, just let Julie know. And she'll talk to you about the requirements that's going to be needed. We go into, this is our port bay in Halifax. Again, we're going to have a private excursion on that one day. as well as the Bay of Fundy. This is probably one of the most beautiful ports that you will see on the entire itinerary. It is always a highlight for everybody on this. This is a trip that we've done many times, and it's always a huge favorite just because of the beauty of this town. So we're getting towards the end of the trip. We've got a sea day again. We're going to get together at this point. This is probably, Chad, well, we'll give you an opportunity maybe to hand out the artwork as everybody says goodbye, or, they talk about maybe what they've enjoyed most about the trip. And it also
Perfect.
gives you more time to enjoy the last bits of the cruise. And then October 19th is disembarkation day. So it's always hard when they kick you off the ship, but they do, and we must leave. But we're going to make it fun. So we do have included the half-day tour of New York City, and then the transfers from the cruise ship for the tour, and then going to the airport. So we do not have a group airfare because we know that we're going to have people leaving from many different cities besides Salt Lake City. But when you do your booking, you're going to want to talk to Julie about the times that you need to plan for your arrival and your departure to take advantage of all these things that we included for you. On the pre-tour, we're going to include a tour of Battery Park and a cruise around Staten Island, which is going to give you a 360 view of the Statue of Liberty, as well as a visit to the 9/11 Memorial. You will have a free afternoon and time that evening to see a show in New York City. On this last day, we're going to do more of a panorama tour of the island, where you're going to get to see Central Park and the Fashion District and the Financial District and some of those other iconic things. And again, these are the things that are included. You're not paying any extra. You're not going to miss this experience in New York City with our package. Again, all of this for under $2,000 for a balcony cabin. It still just blows my mind. So this does, again, just kind of give you an overview of what's included in New York. All this information's on our website. And just a couple of things that you do need to know about is, well, we wanted to let you know about the rates. All of this is available for $14.99 as a starting price for an inside cabin. To that price, what you have to pay additional is going to be the government taxes and fees, which, Julie, do you know that off the top of your head? I want to say $250, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's between $240 and $250.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have that noted here.
Yeah.
Balcony cabins, I put $1,600, but that's a mistake. It's $1,699. I'm sorry, not a balcony, but an outside cabin, which is just going to be a fixed window. You can't open it, but you can look outside. And then again, this incredible deal on our balcony cabins, which is only on sale until this Friday, the 23rd. Hopefully longer. It might be extended, but we can't guarantee that. $19.99 for the balcony cabins. We are allowing you to book a balcony cabin cruise only for only $16.99. So if you're not interested in doing New York, you can book a cabin only for $16.99 for that balcony cabin. But for only $299 to add on all of that in New York, again, that is an incredible value.
It is.
Like we said, air is going to be on your own. And I just again wanted to point out that there is free time in New York. And I say that because you can either do shows, but I have done this before where people's like, I need to go to this restaurant and this restaurant and this, they're the foodies. They've watched enough of the Food Network that they have very specific restaurants that they want to do. So, to each their own. This is New York City. You should take an opportunity, go shopping, go and do some of the fantastic things that they have to do there. But you do have a little bit of free time on there. So I just want to thank you again for sharing a few minutes with us. And this is Julie's phone number and her email address where you can contact her directly to ask her specific questions. Of course, you can book directly on our website at mmetours.com that you see. We do have a 24/7 booking engine, but again, if you're going to take advantage of that $19.99 balcony cabin package, you do need to book this and put it under deposit by the end of day on Friday. That's the longest I can guarantee that, and that's Friday, February 23rd. If you're not seeing this video until after that, I hope we've been able to extend it, but hopefully you are watching it before then. Julie, Chad, we've gone on about 24 minutes. Is there anything you would like to add? Any last, anything, Chad, you're super excited about, or Julie, anything that I've missed that people should know about?
I just look forward to meeting all of you and making this an incredible, memorable experience. I know we'll have a great time, and this really is a great price. So hope to have a great group together, and we'll have a good time.
On a fabulous cruise ship.
It's gonna be awesome.
Julie?
Thanks for the great work, both
Yeah.
of you, Eddie and Julie. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you. We love working with you. Julie has got all the information, and we really hope that this will be something that you can put on your list for this year, and something fun to look forward to this fall. So thank you again, and we hope you have a great day. Appreciate your time.